All right, let's get right into it. We're going to unpack one of the most powerful and honestly most enduring images in all of human history, the Great Mother. And this isn't just about some ancient statue or a forgotten myth. Nope. It's about a deep, fundamental pattern that you can find echoing through just about every culture across thousands of years, and maybe even inside our own head.
Which really brings us to the big question, right? Why is this figure so universal? I mean, why do we see her pop up everywhere, from the Stone Age to modern art? Well, to get to the bottom of that, we're going to lean on the incredible work of psychologist Erich Neumann. He dove deep into this very archetype to figure out what it tells us about the human psyche.
So, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll talk about what this primordial image really is. Then, we'll explore its two very different faces. After that, we'll look at its core functions: life, death, and transformation. Then, we'll see how it shows up in symbols all around us. And finally, we'll connect it all back to what it means for our own mind.
Okay, section 1. Let's get one thing straight right off the bat. When we're talking about the Great Mother, we are not just talking about a bunch of stories about goddesses. It's something much, much deeper than that. Neumann has a word for this. He calls it an archetype. And this definition is super important. It's not some physical picture you can point to out in the world. Think of it more like pre-installed software in the human brain. It's an internal pattern that shapes how we all instinctively experience the world. And this ancient song from the Cagaba people in Colombia just nails it. It captures the sheer scale of this idea perfectly. See, she isn't just the mother of people, but of everything: the thunder, the rivers, the trees, all of it. That's the level we're operating on here. But here's where it gets really interesting. This all-powerful archetype isn't just a one-note benevolent figure. Oh no. It's defined by a fundamental duality, and honestly, it can be pretty terrifying. So on one hand, you've got the good mother. This is the one we all know and love. She's the source of everything positive: life, food, safety, warmth, even wisdom and rebirth. She's the nurturer, the protector. Think of figures like the Greek goddess Demeter or the Virgin Mary. But then there's the other face, the terrible mother. This is where our deepest, most primal fears come from. She's the abyss that threatens to swallow us whole, the darkness that traps us, the force of death, decay, and deprivation. We see her in figures like the Hindu goddess Kali, dancing on corpses, or the snake-haired Gorgon from Greek myth. And this is the most crucial part. These are not two different mothers. They are two sides of the very same coin. The exact same power that gives life is the one that takes it away. The womb that gives birth is also the tomb that it returns to. It's this tension between creation and destruction that lies at the absolute heart of the archetype. Now, beyond just being good or terrible, Neumann saw that this archetype operates in another key way. This one is all about the push and pull between staying the same and, well, changing completely. So first, you have what he calls the elementary character. Its main job is just to contain. Think of a womb, a nest, a cave, even a coffin. It's a conservative force that holds, protects, and nourishes whatever is inside it. It's all about safety and stability. The flip side of that is the transformative character. This is the engine of change. It's not about holding on, it's about pushing for growth, for evolution, for spiritual awakening. It's the power behind inspiration, creativity, and all the mysteries of rebirth. This ancient Egyptian image is a fantastic illustration of that transformative side. What you're seeing here is the sun, a symbol of new consciousness, rising up from that pillar in the center. That pillar represents the maternal tree of life. It's literally the birth of something new from the old source, a dynamic push into light and awareness. And this whole mythical process, it's basically a map of our own psychological journey. We all start out in a state of unconscious unity with our mother, but to become an independent person, an individual, we have to take that journey into the unknown, confront our fears, that's the terrible mother, and hopefully emerge, reborn with our own conscious identity. So how does this abstract pattern actually show up in the real world? Well, Neumann says there's a whole wreath of symbols that surround the archetype, a huge network of images that are all different expressions of her power. She is, above all, the vessel. You can see it so clearly here with the goddess Bhavani. Her actual body contains the entire world. But this symbol also includes any kind of container: a pot, a cave, a ship, a house. Anything that holds and gives shape to life
is a symbol of her. She is also the tree of life and of death. Take Yggdrasil, the Norse world tree. Its roots dig deep into the darkness of the underworld. Its trunk stands in our world, and its branches reach up to the heavens. It connects every realm and symbolizes that eternal cycle of growth, decay, and regeneration. And finally, she is the Lady of the Beasts. Here, we've got a Cretan goddess just casually standing between two lions, showing her total control over the wild, untamed, instinctual forces of nature. The entire animal kingdom, in all its raw and sometimes dangerous power, belongs to her. Okay, so why does any of this deep dive into old myths and symbols actually matter to us today? Because, and this is Neumann's whole point, this entire structure isn't just something out there in stories. It's in here, inside every one of us. Look at this. This Aztec codex isn't just a cool piece of art. It's a psychological map. It shows the entire universe unfolding inside the womb of the Great Mother. And that's a perfect metaphor for how our own minds experience reality, as something happening inside this powerful archetypal field. In the end, this primordial pattern touches everything. Sure, it shapes our relationship with our own mothers, but it goes way beyond that. It structures our deepest anxieties about death and chaos, and it fuels our greatest hopes for transformation, creativity, and rebirth. It's like the deep grammar of our inner world. Once you learn to spot this pattern, the mother with two faces, the vessel, the endless cycle of death and rebirth, I promise you will start to see it absolutely everywhere. In movies, in art, in politics, and maybe most importantly, in the patterns of your own life. So the question to leave you with is, where are you going to see it first?